about the PMV. I mean, it was a good article. I like that it was just super straight, laid out, real simple. Nursing care, recovery, all that. Um, I'll say that, like, when I'll read through some of these different pigeon books compared to what you'll see on Google, it's Google and stuff can get you in trouble.
There's there you pull up something and you be careful what you read because you can either chase your tail or spend a whole lot of money on stuff that you either don't need or that's counterproductive. Even.
Yeah, when I had that coccidiosis run through my loft, even looking up treatments for coccidiosis, there was no real unified answer when there really is. It's that, I don't know if I'm saying it right, amprilium or whatever, that stuff in Corid. So even when you can like pinpoint a disease, if you do it on your own, when it comes to looking up treatments for it and stuff, it can. I don't know how Google does their algorithm. When I had coccidiosis in my loft, I'm saying when I Googled treatment for coccidiosis, there wasn't a straight across the board answer for it. Whereas, in like the pigeon books, there is. It's that amprilium that is in Corid. So even if you can somehow figure out what's going on, yeah, Google can get you into a lot of trouble. I mean, I personally would like to just get it all from a book or from like a legitimate website like the NBRC or the ARPU or something like that, where it's not just a Google algorithm pulling up an answer for you. That's all.
Right. So when you had your coccidiosis deal, how did you figure it out? What did you
That
think was
was
going on?
Yeah. So I at first I thought it was coccidiosis. They had the symptoms, especially in their droppings and stuff, of coccidiosis. But like I said before, I was doing a 4-in-1 treatment that was supposed to be for coccidiosis. So I ruled that out, and then I went on to thinking, maybe it's an upper respiratory thing that's causing this. So I treated with that tricycline, and I just moved on. When after I ended up taking a dead bird to the university and they did the full lab workup, it was coccidiosis, and I put my birds on Corid, and that's the end of it. I stopped losing birds. So that's another thing too. When you're just throwing medications at birds and assuming that this medication treats this thing 100%, and you can rule it out, I was wrong. I was majorly wrong. That 4-in-1 didn't treat coccidiosis. It probably doesn't treat the other things that it claims to treat either.
Where'd you get this 4-in-1 at? What was it? Explain to me what a 4-in-1 was, because when I first got pigeons, I heard about it, and I think you were one of the first people to mention it to me. But it's not something I'm familiar with. My background's a little bit. I'm a chicken guy. We do it works. A lot of my background I learned from the old timers. They have a way they do things. A lot of stuff nowadays, it's either watered down or hyped up, I feel like. So yeah. I value a lot of the old timers, wisdom.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, there should be a lot more of that, just because this is an old hobby. Like there shouldn't be people trying to reinvent the wheel with figuring out how to get sickness out of birds and stuff. And well, the 4-in-1 I came up on was kind of when I was first getting into birds, and I was getting some birds given to my son, and they were saying, "Oh, you got to put these on 4-in-1 right away." And I had never heard of it at the time, but they were saying, when the bird gets stressed, the good bacteria goes down, the bad bacteria comes up, and this 4-in-1 can kind of control that. So it treats E. coli, salmonella, paratyphoid, and coccidiosis is what it claims to be. And it's literally just called a 4-in-1 powder, and you put it in their water.
Do you know what's in it? Do you know what the active ingredient is, or is it is it a probiotic or what?
So they'll actually be it's 4 different medicines for each one of the 4 diseases, but it's in a really low dose. Like it actually does have, some of the 4-in-1s actually do have amprilium, which is the direct treatment for coccidiosis. But if you look at, like, I think Corid is like 9.6% or something like that. This stuff it's way diluted. It's way less than that. So like in my case, when I had pretty bad outbreak of coccidiosis,
probably should have a lot more, maybe.
Yeah, I wish I was like a direct treatment of the Corid, because who knows what if that other medication is just dragging the birds down even more. those other 3 medicines that I'm pumping into them. So it was, I mean, I thought I had PMV for a while, except, I didn't have any of the twisty neck stuff, no wing paralysis, nothing like that. It was a really wild symptoms, all over the place. And, I lost a lot of birds. So I really tried watching each symptom, but, even the droppings didn't change until like a day or two before they would die. And so it was really hard to track down.
Right. So, in my case, I've gotten every bird that I've ever seen with this disease. I won't say where it's geographically located because that's not fair, really. I guess I was told that not every bird from Tucson carries PMV, so I won't say that.
Right. Of course not.
You could probably cut that out.
No.
I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. It wasn't from Tucson.